Evil Dead, the most recent, not Evil Dead 2, but the one from 2013, used 50,000 gallons of fake blood.
That's insane.
How do you get that much? Like, that's a lot of trucks.
Yeah.
It was a good day for the manufacturers of fake blood.
Yeah.
They said 50,000 orders.
Like 50,
right away.
50,000.
How are we gonna fill this all in time?
And they got a big paycheck.
Yeah.
Hey.
Welcome back
To season 3 and episode 8 of the Girlies Nights podcast.
Eight's my favorite number.
Is it really?
And that is why that is why we have Skyler on for the 8th episode of the Girlies Nights
totally
podcast.
do that.
Yeah, we did that on purpose for sure.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I've been in your basement for so long, so thank you for letting me out.
Don't tell them that.
I thought you were in the walls.
It's they connect.
Yeah.
She dug her way out of the basement into the walls.
Yeah. Clawed my way out.
Yeah.
And now she basically practically forced us. Forced our hand so that she could talk about. She could talk about
spooky makeup.
Yes.
Makeup in the horror genre, horror film. It's the intersection of the two things I love most in this world. So,
except for us.
Yeah, we're the third thing.
Yeah. But you're up there.
Up there. Okay.
You're up there.
Okay.
So
okay.
Thank
God.
God.
I'll take it.
If you guys are like covered in blood or in like spooky makeup,
Then you're up there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe just like put in more effort next time and I'll love you more.
Fine. You know what? I'll take it.
You both look gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you.
you.
You look gorgeous.
You look gorgeous.
She's wearing your signature blue eyeshadow.
Ding! We'll get into that. We'll get into that. There's so much to cover, so let's just get into it.
Get into it, yeah.
So I'm very passionate about horror because it's such an extreme genre. And I love when films are extreme because it's like, it's a movie. Why would you make it like realistic? Like we're there to watch a movie. We're there to escape reality. So might as well make it that like insane, you know? And in my opinion, no other genre of film utilizes makeup and special effects like horror does. And not even just the special effects, like makeup tells such a story, especially in horror, that it just like, I love talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Horror portrays like the realistic and exaggerated fears of like everybody in society. And so using such a visual medium like makeup, like costume and makeup is the first thing you know about a character, like before they talk, is their visual appearance. And so makeup can tell that story so seamlessly. And in something like a horror film where it's like, you know, a lot of people are going to get murked really quick. You need to know who they are.
It's like that in film, there's a thing where you mark your hero or the protagonist. So it's like Luke has like Harry Potter has the scar.
Right.
And I think makeup is a way to do that.
It's like the anime protagonist always has like big colorful hair. You can always tell the protagonist is because they have crazy hair.
I didn't know you were a weeb.
She is.
I'm not. I just know about anime.
It's like an Arcane. They have pink and blue hair.
Yeah.
I need to talk about Arcane at least every single episode. At least once.
Bella has to bring up Arcane every time we talk.
But like the way that it tells a story, like it could be the same girl and she has like clean, fresh makeup, and then it could be that same girl, but there's mascara running and there's blood all over her. Like that tells a completely different story, but it's the same character. So it's just so powerful, especially in horror. So there's beauty makeup, there's special effects, and then blood.
Oh, your favorite.
My favorite.
Skyler said everyone's hotter covered in blood, and I agree.
True.
Yeah. And featuring Skylar in our final Halloween episode of last season was covered in blood.
It could have been bloodier.
Wait.
She was just as scary.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
And then we went to an event and I was like, I was the only one that showed out in costume like that.
Yeah.
Like you guys dressed up and it was gorgeous, but I was covered in blood.
Mm-hmm.
But hey.
As you should. People didn't go hard enough.
Yeah. And now everyone remembers you. Everyone's going to go, that girl
girl
was covered in blood.
Yeah. I love it.
I love that for me. Before we get to blood, I want to talk specifically about like beauty makeup in horror, because I feel like when you think of horror makeup, you're like, someone's eye is falling out and someone's guts are everywhere and blood. But beauty makeup can be just as powerful. I won't get into blue eyeshadow specifically because that's a whole other episode.
Yes, guys can do a whole episode on blue eyeshadow.
Do a whole season on blue eyeshadow. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. So I love talking about beauty makeup specifically in horror with like final girls because their makeup is always very different and it is meant to convey like the type of person that they are. Most final girls you'll see are like very natural, neutral makeup. Like you think of like Sydney from Scream or like, you know, they're all just kind of very classic and everyone around them is a little bit more extreme. And that's partly because final girl stems from like, she's the innocent, pure one.
Yep.
So she's going to survive.
Have sex and you die.
Have sex and you die. Do you agree?
Wholeheartedly.
Good thing we're not going to die because we don't do
good
that.
thing that I am pure.
Yep.
Me too.
No sluts in this house.
Only whores.
Do you think it might, I don't know, you might be talking about it a little more, but do you think it could also be like, so she's a little more relatable? Like,
oh, totally.
People can project themselves on her.
Yeah. Because as much as like, you know, I love basically drag makeup. Like this is very toned down for me. I was like, let's try to look a little normal.
It's a niche thing to do that. Yeah.
Yes. Not to be like I'm not like other girls, but
Yeah, Skyler's different. She's quirky.
She's like always covered in blood. Like, oh my god.
She's so crazy.
She's so crazy. But it's totally like because you want to relate to the main character, and if she's just like this, you know, nothing's crazy about her, and then it's like, oh, so a killer could come after you too.
I've never noticed that, but thinking back on all of the horror movies I've seen, pretty much the main character is always like very, I mean, she has a beat face, but you can't tell.
No.
Yeah.
But like a perfect example of the opposite of this is Maxine.
Because
she blue eyeshadow, she wears strong things, but that's because
I loved her club makeup, the pink.
So iconic.
So God. Her hair in that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I need to be that blonde. But she's a perfect example of that because it kind of contradicts what I just said about the final girl, but it's because she's not a typical final girl. Like she has something to hide. She's not exactly innocent herself.
Yeah.
And so like her having blue eyeshadow on X is such a nod to that. Like she does end up being the final girl, but it's like, she doesn't do it by like being super moral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
it fits her character.
There's more to her than what originally appears. And the makeup shows that, which is just,
I love that.
it's so cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And they'll have like a lot of times makeup will be more extreme on like the girl's best friend or something like that. And it's like, you know, they're gonna die. You know?
Yeah. R.I.P.
Sorry. She's
Sexy
too
ones
cool.
always die.
Yes! That's why we're gonna die. I'll get into blue eyeshadow a little bit. Blue eyeshadow specifically can show a descent into madness, especially in horror, because it's such an unnatural color. Because like pinks and like blah, 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 blah. Like that's kind of in your skin tone. Some people can have cooler undertones, but like bright blue, like there's so many films where it's like she'll kind of start out clean makeup and then she'll go through some form of transformation, whether it's like escaping the killer or like, I don't know, she turns into a werewolf or something and then she's wearing blue eyeshadow or another bright, bold color, like makeup showing the shift in what has changed within her. And so her outer appearance changes as well.
And did this start in like the 80s or do you know when kind of, it's so like iconic for the time of the 80s.
Yeah, the 80s definitely like made it big because 80s makeup in general was like huge and very like that.
They were going for it.
Yeah. The like makeup and storytelling dates way, 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 way back, especially like special effects. And I'll get into that a little bit. But like the 70s is kind of when the slasher genre became a thing. And so like Texas Chainsaw, you know, stuff like that, where that's when it kind of became the thing to do in horror. Like those are the biggest horror movies or slashers, and I love you, slashers. I love you. Cast me.
Her first love.
My first love. Broke my heart for the first time. Beauty makeup is, I feel like, an under talked about thing in horror makeup. But it's like,
because people always think about the monster makeup and the special effects, because that's like
blood.
Yeah.
Because those are cool.
Oh, it's so cool. And it doesn't really show up in other movies. Like, you're not necessarily going to watch a comedy and see somebody's
that would be so funny, actually.
What would, Callie? A comedy movie? Like
a comedy movie with SFX.
Yeah.
Like, then no one says anything. That's just what they look like.
Period.
You mean it's not a part of the plot?
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, Coneheads and like other stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that made the Blob.
The Goonies.
The Goonies.
Exactly.
Yeah, there is.
No, but it does become a plot point. You mean if someone just had like...
just looked like that and no one said anything.
That's why people cast me in movies.
No.
Yeah. They're just like, not a part of the plot, but we need diversity, and so we'll cast a monster.
No. She's the beauty. She's not the beast.
Oh my god.
We're getting derailed.
We like to flirt. Anyway.
That all being said about the beauty makeup, let's get into the weird stuff.
Yeah.
Because I love it. What experience do you guys have with SFX makeup? Any? Like, were you watching Glam and Gore?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh no, I binged Glam and Gore as a child.
Did you ever try anything?
Well, I didn't know where she got all this stuff, so I would try it with just like a cheap palette like this, and it would look like shit, and then or it would look like shoot, and then I would give up.
But you never like bought liquid latex. Like, what would you try to do? Just like fake bruises and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't know where to buy liquid latex because I was really stupid.
Now she roasted her. You have to roast me too, and then we'll be even.
We'll see.
But no, I loved like doing that to myself. I'll show you pictures because I was pretty good at it, and I would use just like a makeup palette and like a pen and like concealer to make it like bulge out. And then I did like I would take like toilet paper and I would like rip it in half and then use that and then conceal it to make it look like skin falling off.
Damn, y'all are creative. I was just going, well, I don't have the products, so.
I used like glue, like I'd put glue and then I'd scratch it in the middle and then make it like red.
Yep.
I loved doing that. I don't do it anymore though. That was very much a teenage Bella.
Story of your life. You're so talented at everything, and then you're like, literally, I don't do that anymore, even though I reinvented the genre. But like, 100%.
When I say it was really good, I mean like I was good at it for someone that like doesn't do it. You know what I mean? Like it was just very like.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
That's how I feel. Like someone contacted me a little earlier this week about doing SFX makeup for a shoot, and I was like, I am nowhere near good enough for that. Like,
yeah.
I have fun, and like on Halloween I look fierce, but that's after like so much practice.
Yeah.
But it's fun to look crazy.
It's hard to do, and
it is. It takes time.
And we've talked like with Payson a little bit about like creature acting and how cool that is, like to be unrecognizable.
Yeah.
To be like completely covered in like a mask and makeup and stuff, and like you can walk to the grocery store and not have people attack you, but then you're a millionaire.
Yes. Yeah. That's why like practical effects are god tier. They're
oh my god,
king in my opinion. Sorry, CGI.
No, I'm all.
No, me too.
This is a practical effects safe space because I love science fiction, and the best thing you could do with science fiction is do it in practical.
100%.
If you're making a whole like spaceship set and like building it and the characters interacting with it, that's so much more interesting than them walking around on a blue screen.
Yes. One of my favorite examples of that is one of my favorite movies, Galaxy Quest. They built a set that could shake and move like a spaceship. So the actors were like, Sigourney Weaver was being thrown around.
That's
like,
so cool.
Yeah.
And it's very practical, but that's part of why, especially as an actress, I love practical effects because it adds so much more to the character. Like I feel like some people might argue that it's like, well, if you can act, then you can like act like it's actually there.
But
it's like,
but it's more fun to immerse yourself in it as an actor.
Yes.
Like I don't want to be an actor, but sometimes I just want to immerse myself in it.
I got you, baby.
Yeah.
I got you. I can make you like put a wound here. Creating like these horrific illusions in real time, like not only help the actors, but they make the production and the vision of the overall film like so much more exciting. Cause like if you're anything on a film set and they're like, oh, we'll just do it in post, it's like, okay, I guess I'll see that in 5 years. But it's like when I was on set for Love Will Tear Us Apart, everyone was so excited because they saw the vision of it. Like they're like, oh, girl, her tooth is actually gone. Like she's spitting out blood right now. Like it just makes everyone so much more excited, and you're seeing it in real time.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's so fun. And I know so many people are like uncomfortable in it, like physically, because personally speaking, like for most of that set, I couldn't see out of this eye.
Yeah.
Because I had a prosthetic on it. But I guess I'm a freak because I loved it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I would too. I think most actors would prefer to be in like actual makeup versus I would hope so, at least. I mean, it's super uncomfortable. Like a lot of these, them putting on these special effects makeup and stuff are like it can take like 10 hours.
Yeah.
And they have to wake up every morning for 10 hours and then it's wild.
I think I remember seeing like Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. It took like 6 hours to paint his skin that blue, but it's not CGI, which was really cool.
Jennifer Lawrence, when she was Mystique, it took 8 hours and she had to sit on a bicycle seat so that they could get every inch.
Oh my God.
Ladies sitting on a bicycle seat for 8 hours.
That would hurt. Bicycle seats are not made for female comfort.
No, it takes a lot. But that, like, to me, not even in like a I'm really method way, but like it helped me get in character because there's only so much you can do. Like if the director had been like, and your eye is gone right now, dude, I would have been like, okay. But when you like can't see out of this eye and you feel goop on your face, it's like,
yeah, my eye fell out.
Yeah, it was. I miss it.
There's some things you can't really do with practical. Like in
of course,
the one movie where she has the hole in her stomach.
Oh, Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though is I love the ingenuity of people that try to recreate it. Yes.
Yeah.
Like practically, because like if you want to do that for Halloween or something, you have to get really creative and create it practically. So people will do a Halloween costume of that where they put like a mirror there.
Love
That's
that.
cool.
Yeah.
So it's anything can be practical, but sometimes it just looks better when it is CGI or like enhanced a little bit. But like the base of it needs to be practical in my opinion.
I think they can work together.
Oh yeah.
Like you could definitely use practical to get the set looking a certain way. Then CGI can like add the extra little flares that maybe are too difficult to get on set or like impossible because it's fantasy or science fiction. And you're like, well, that doesn't exist.
Practical
like
effects,
a laser.
Practical effects are like the ice cream sundae, but CGI can be the sprinkles and the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need it, but it's like, yeah, she helped. I love a maraschino, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Do you not?
No.
I also don't like mirrors.
But yeah, but
like I get what you're saying.
I would agree.
Practical effects stems from way back. Like when Universal monster movies were being made and a little before that. And they primarily stem from like the father of practical effects makeup is Lon Chaney Sr. He played the original Phantom of the Opera. He played the original Hunchback of Notre Dame. And the reason...
Sorry.
Do you like
that movie? That was cool.
She said, the Hunchback?
The Hunchback?
I love that movie. I love the Disney one, so I probably would like the OG.
This is different. It's very different.
We should watch it, though.
We should.
Oh, yeah. So he became prevalent in acting and in doing this makeup because the actors had to do their own makeup. There wasn't like a makeup
That's
department
crazy.
way back then. And so he was able to completely transform himself and his face. And so he became like the father of all this. So he was getting cast in everything. And then he became like a mentor for so many of the makeup artists that did like Frankenstein, you know, the Wolfman. Like it stems so far back. And so many other masters of SFX followed his teachings. And now it's become such a big thing. I mean, just like Flamingore, like a YouTube channel, like it became so prevalent for like so many young people because that was what was most accessible. But like Face Off and like so many huge shows, you can go to school for it now. You know what I mean?
There's that one show, it's a dating show where they put the
mask,
the SFX
it's like
makeup
a Masked
on
Singer,
them,
but it's dating.
And then they have to date them in SFX makeup, and then if they fall in love, then they get to see them without the makeup.
But the thing is, like, they were always hot. Like every single person that came out of that, you know what I mean? It's like, would you love me? Would you like me if I did it? It's kind of like Well,
it's like Love is Blind, but like you actually get to interact.
Yeah.
In these Universal monster movies, blah 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 blah, violence was like off screen most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it wasn't, blood.
It is pretty cool.
Blood.
Do y'all have blood?
No.
Y'all bleed?
No,
never.
I'm actually a freak of nature.
Well, that we knew, but I was just wondering if you bleed.
No, because I'm a freak of nature.
Blood is so, I mean, I think it's so visually, I'm sure you're going to talk about this, but like it's so visually striking and like it gets your attention because it's red.
Yeah.
And it's coming from like skin that's usually not red.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's, the contrast
and
is
you're also,
so...
It's supposed to be inside your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why it's
seeing
so...
it's like out is, ugh.
I've always found that very funny. Like, especially when people are afraid of like skeletons. I'm like, we all have one. Why are you scared?
It's not, you're not supposed to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like I'm not good with blood at all.
Really?
No, the one time I was I had a can of beans and I opened up and it had like the sharp edge and I was like trying to get the beans out of the can into like a strainer and I like went into my thumb and I almost passed out. Payson had to heal me. She had to like do everything for me because
she said
I was like on the ground like, oh my god.
Were you uncomfortable and I was covered in blood then?
No, I know it was fake.
Fake blood is fake.
Okay.
Like if it's see it in fake, it's fine, but like on screen, it's harder to tell sometimes.
Oh, sure.
And so I do get a little uncomfortable with
that.
it. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm not good with gore because I'm not really good with blood in person.
Oh, because I knew you weren't good with gore, which like that's not a bad thing. It's probably good to kind of try to shelter your mind from some of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not good with a lot of like, just like body parts not looking right.
Body horror.
Yeah, I just like I'm not good with that like in person sometimes, which is a problem. But
Sure.
I love like gashes and that kind of stuff, but broken bones, like if an arm is like sideways, I literally
I actually
will
don't
pass
mind
out.
that as much.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, if I can see the bone, but like if the arm is like bent in a weird angle, I'm like that doesn't look right. We should go fix that.
we should go fix it.
You said me and the injured.
Me and my baby girl.
Me and the injured.
Me and the injured.
You're fine with blood, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You don't like needles, but blood.
Well, no, it sucks because I'm not scared of blood or needles, but my body's fight or flight is just to pass out.
Yeah, okay.
And it's not even like during getting blood drawn and stuff. It's after. But I don't know. But like seeing blood, I'm chill.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that it's necessarily desensitization because I've seen a billion horror movies and stuff, and unfortunately, I've seen a lot of blood in real life. But
Yeah.
like, we all have.
Yeah. Womanhood.
It's just, it's really interesting when film decides to do blood and decides not to, because people can get punched in movies and like not bleed. My favorite example of like when a movie like turned the tide is the first time that they showed blood in a Disney Pixar movie was in Finding Nemo when Dory gets hit with the mask and she starts bleeding so that the shark comes to get her.
I love that.
But it's like it's because it was a plot point. But it's like that's blood in a kid's movie.
Wow.
Like,
yeah.
And as a kid, you don't even realize.
Nah.
Like when I saw it, I was like, oh no, the sharks.
Yeah.
It's different in like animation and stuff, but like originally with blood, girl, the concoctions that they were making to make fake blood. I feel like there's a lot of myths out there that it was like animal blood and stuff. That wasn't super common because like
I feel like there was some indie weirdo.
Oh, I'm
there
sure.
still is.
Yeah.
Ew.
100%. There's still some gross dude director that's like, I think like for authenticity,
I'm gonna use deer's blood.
I'm gonna like slaughter an animal and cover you in their blood.
Giving Carrie.
Very that. Ugh.
So how did they make it?
So early on, it was a concoction of like red food dye.
Mm-hmm.
Way early on, it was not edible at all. Like honestly, edible blood is kind of new.
Wouldn't the red food dye like stain?
Yeah, it would.
Okay.
It's
And
a
it does.
nightmare.
And it does.
Oh,
So, 'cause
most fake
that's-
blood
yeah.
stains. Like after set, I have a picture of myself that's kind of explicit because I wanted to show how much it was on me. So it's like me in my underwear, and I'm just like, it looks like I have a weird full body blood birthmark.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
badass.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I should have kept it. Just never
Put
showered
it on
again.
your wall. Oh, never mind. The picture.
Sure. I have the picture still. It's just in my private folder. But, and then, well, they only started using like red food dye and stuff when films were in color. But for things like Psycho.
Yeah.
Famously.
Mr. Alfred Hitchcock.
Famously used chocolate syrup. As the blood
that makes sense.
down the drain. Because it was dark and it was like the right consistency. But most of the time it's like corn syrup, red food coloring, stuff of that nature. But it really depends on what you're using it for. Like that's what it would be used for like people, because that's not super toxic. But like if it's like you need a lot of blood, like in The Shining or something. Yeah. Or like Evil Dead, the most recent, not Evil Dead 2, but the one from 2013 used 50,000 gallons of fake blood.
That's insane.
How do you get that much? Like that's a lot of trucks.
Yeah.
It was a good day for the manufacturers of fake blood.
Yeah.
They said 50,000 orders.
Like 50,
right away.
50,000.
How are we gonna fill this all in time?
And they got a big paycheck.
Yeah. But I
wish.
Well, I think it's because there's a scene with like a wood chipper and like, it's so good.
I have not seen it.
You would hate it.
It's
very 50,000 gallons of blood.
It's very gory.
Is it hard for you if you read gory stuff? Because that's hard.
Just skip it.
I recently read a horror book because movies you can look away, but I recently read a horror book where I was like, but I had to keep reading. Like I was like, but it was so good.
One that got me was actually A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. I read that one last year. I got it for Payson for Christmas the year before. And she's a cannibal. And it like describes how she like gores the bodies and like butchers them and like prepares their bodies as food. That I would be like, I would get sick if I read it for too long. My stomach would start turning. I was like, okay, we're done.
Isn't that so? That's what I mean by like horror is the most powerful genre to me. Like something that can make you like physically sick.
It's a very primal fear too. Is like my body needs to stay in there.
Yeah, body horror gets you. Huh?
Horror is such a cool genre because it lets you explore your fears in a safe space. Like you can be on your couch with your blankies and see something that you're scared of, which is
and then you can't sleep because it's in your mind.
Yeah.
And so then it's cartoon time.
One of my favorite quotes ever about horror is, horror helps people process trauma. It's a safe place to be afraid because you know it ends.
It ends. There's an ending. You turn it off.
Kylie's like, I see why you watch so much of it now.
Well, no, I was like, yeah, I get that.
It's, yeah, you know there's going to be a resolution. Mm-hmm. Whereas like in real life, the horrors persist.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I think that there's a lot of escapism in other genres as well that are like
fantasy.
YA dystopia is one I was just looking into for fun. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times like there's this idea of like the rebellion and rebelling against your oppressors. And like there's always, they're going to come out on top, or there's like, that the rebellion is worth following in these stories. And I think that like the reason why like that type of rebellion doesn't happen in real life is because there's actual risk. And so there's this escapism element of like doing something that has a lot of risk and knowing that like you will personally be okay and those characters will also probably be okay.
I think that's why I also like horror so much, is that I have a lot of really paranoid and probably unjustified fears, like very random, but like when I watch a horror movie, they're usually so ridiculous, or even just like a slasher. It's like, for me to believe that I'm going to be the one in the million that's going to get like serial killed is pretty ridiculous. Whereas I'm afraid of like just driving sometimes.
Yeah.
So watching stuff that's so like
extreme.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Or like, I love the campy stuff, like stuff that like, of course you're scared of it, but it's so out there. And so it's such a safe space to be scared because they're probably going to be okay. And even if they're not, it's like, well, that was crazy, but that could never happen. Like, killer clowns probably aren't going to come here.
2016.
They weren't killer clowns from outer space.
That's true.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
It's a perfect movie. But it's like, that's scary. But it's so ridiculous. But even the makeup in that, like the clowns and like, it's just, makeup is such a powerful storytelling thing. Like Carrie, like there's so many ways that it can convey so many emotions, not only from the character, but to the audience. Like, you see someone covered in blood, you're gonna be like, oh my God, that's not correct. Like you said, it's supposed to be inside.
Yeah, that's supposed to be inside my body.
I've noticed with horror films too, like being covered in blood and then having to wash it off is always like a thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's always the processing the trauma or realizing that there's trauma, or like they're shaking and they're trying to wash their hands, or like it's interesting that that's a common.
I feel like I've seen that in a lot of movies, is like after they kill somebody for the first time or they get in like a really bad situation, they're like at the sink, like,
and then they try to wash it off their
and you
body
can watch it run down the sink drain. Like I feel like you see that a lot.
Yeah,
it's the same.
And then
with
it
like,
happened in It, where the bathroom exploded into blood.
Yeah, that used a lot of blood too. That was like a couple 1,000 gallons.
Another good day for the manufacturers.
The blood guys are like, again?
I think economically. Like,
no, it's super powerful. Like as a, if you're like scrubbing blood off of you, it says something about the morals of that character, or like the fear that they're feeling, or if they're
leave it on.
Yeah,
they leave it on. That says
or
something.
Just like have you guys seen Ready or Not?
No, I don't think so. Maybe
there's a part where someone is completely covered in blood and she's had it. And she's like, it's some of the most covered in blood you could be. And she just lights up a cigarette. It's like
oh
she
my
could
gosh,
be washing
so
it off,
good.
but she's just like, I can't. Like, that says a lot about her character, you know? Or like, especially with not only just washing off blood, but like washing off makeup too. Is such a statement. Like in The Substance, the scene. Have you guys seen it?
No. I need to though. Like I really want to. I just haven't yet.
It's first of all, for makeup, it won the Oscar.
It
won the Oscar for best makeup.
That's so cool.
Okay, crazy.
Like, because it was all practical. It was all practical.
That's cool.
There's like, I can't even describe to you. When you guys watch it, you'll be like, this is practical work. Like, it'll be crazy. But there's a scene where like one of the characters is freaking out and she just like with her makeup, and I'm like, me core.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's very fun to get out of the shower and have it all just...
That's horror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
all the black makeup all over your face. You're like, yep, this is my natural state of
using
being.
beauty makeup as horror too.
Yeah.
Anything that doesn't look quite right. Like I said, like mascara running, or like people were doing that trend where like the uncanny valley makeup.
I love that trend.
It's so gross.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost a similar vibe with letting the mascara running down and then accepting it versus and like having blood splattered and accepting it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a similar kind of feeling of like acceptance with like a complete derailment.
Yes.
Or like something going completely wrong, and it's like I can't, or shock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Accepting being messy a little bit.
Of the horrors that have happened, or just like even like maybe it's the killer and it's like just accepting that I'm a mess.
It's so cool.
It's the best. It's my passion.
I think horror is my passion.
Skyler, she is here if you have any horror related questions, because she is
questions, queries, qualms,
or just a discussion.
Yeah. A fun picture of you covered in blood. Send it my
she'll be like,
way.
yes, queen.
Yeah.
She'll be like, yes.
I'll be like, okay, corn syrup. Okay.
We'll give Skylar the YouTube login and she's just going to sit in the comment section waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we have any final thoughts? We should
any closing statements?
Probably get out of here at some point.
Yeah, we got to go.
They're going to put me in the basement again. Please don't leave. Please.
There's someone that's going to take that we're serious. And then someone help her. No, Skylar has her own beautiful place.
We're not serious.
Stop.
They brought me out to talk about blood because they were like, you know all about that, don't you?
She's actually like cuffed to the chair over here.
I encourage you all to explore horror in whatever way that manifests. Doesn't have to be body horror. I think we can all find a fun way to explore feeling fear in a safe and comfortable place, because then it kind of makes fear in the real world a little more manageable. And I also encourage you to explore makeup in whatever way that manifests, whether it's beauty makeup, horror makeup, or literally just like, I don't know, put one rhinestone here, like work, like anything that makes you feel good or feel crazy, and if there's an intersection of the two, send it my way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, angels.
Of course. Thanks for being
here, doing all this research and work.
It was just in my brain.
She just
thinks like that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
There's a lot of
thanks
blood
for
in my
talking
brain.
about something, that like I like horror and stuff, but it's not really something we talk about because we don't know as much about it. So I appreciate you coming in and talking about it.
Yeah.
Again, even if you guys have questions, I'll answer them. You guys will be like, what's the deal with that famous knife? And I'll be like, oh my God. That famous knife.
The famous
and
knife.
Thank you all for being here and listening with us.
Yeah.
Sorry if you got scared or grossed out.
Put a trigger warning at the beginning, talking about blood.
And
gore.
Gore a little bit. And
blood and guts.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you all so much.
good to see you.
Bye.
Bye.